One mantra I'd like you to leave with: the only process for transforming business is, in fact, to transform process. You have to begin to think about how to do things differently. How you do things differently will determine your success over the next 20 years. It's not necessarily who's got the best technology. That's a flip a coin decision in many cases. It's really who applies the technology best and who can help you apply it on a day-to-day basis in your company to truly gain success. So you look to transform process. You look to change the way you do things, and you will be better off. I say it again, transformation is the point. It is the point. It's not cost cutting. It's innovation. I'll say an even stronger statement. It's not improvement, it's change, constant change. If you improve once and stop, what good is it? Continuous improvement. Continuous improvement requires change. And it is certainly not ROI. Please stop worrying about ROI. ROI never got anybody anything in the end, except an argument with their CEO who said you don't get enough of it. You have to start thinking about return on value. You have to start thinking about return on what you do to change your company, not just a return on the investment that you make. Let's look at our survey results. You can listen to these analysts talk all day, but what do the actual customers say? Well, when we ask customers about looking forward and what's going to happen, they give us a different answer than they've given us over the last 3 years. Our surveys over the last 3 years have said at the top is business process improvement. At the top is business process improvement. But now, looking forward to 2011, what's at the top? Innovation, creating new products or services. The second thing that comes is expanding into new markets or geographies. The third, attracting and retaining customers. The fourth, we still haven't hit business process improvement. Creating new capabilities for competitive advantage. And finally, number 5, business process improvement. Does that mean that CEOs and CIOs are getting tired of business process improvement? We've been talking about business process improvement. It drops in 2011 in our surveys, but when we look at this thing, you recognize that everything above it really has to do with transformation. Everything above it is enabled through business process improvement, business process management, extending agility. All of those things are benefits of what we're trying to do today. So even if they don't say it's the hottest thing on the map right now, we recognize that it's becoming more endemic. It's becoming a part of the way we think, a part of the way we do what we do, and a part of the way our business will grow. That was an important change. The modern prophet, Charles Darwin, he says it's not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is most adaptable to change. That is a key thing for us all when we're moving forward in our businesses. How do we adapt to change? It's difficult for us to change. When you move into this process world, let's look at something you have to do. You have to match your tools to your expertise and your budget in a changing world and in changing times. You're looking at simple, manual, and low-cost issues that you're trying to automate or you're trying to turn into more effective and optimized ways of doing things. Single users or team-based groups that you have to deal with. Having to actually deal with the word collaboration is a very key thing for you now. Collaboration is one of the keys to the future. How you work together with the people who sit next to you is going to determine how effectively your business can change. So being able to work in single groups or team groups is going to be important. Judgment and data-driven processes, you got to bring that out. You got to bring out judgment. You got to be able to share that judgment across your organization, and you got to be able to capture it, to use it as an asset, and not let it go away when those people go away. Single or multi-phase support projects don't happen all at once. They come in phases, and you have to be able to plan for each phase of transition. The right tools, through something like a business process management suite, is what can help you leverage your success into these issues. And there are others. Model-driven collaboration, judgment and data-driven systems, full lifecycle support, and frequent change are just the price of doing business now. Just the price of doing business. We don't sit on our rumps and write programs all day. We try to get our business-focused people to evolve processes in every way. And if we can do that, it becomes more endemic. The second one, new technological and collaborative realities. Well, SOA is still here. SOA has hit the mainstream. SOA is not dead. Okay, SOA is rolling fine. It's done a lot of good stuff. The view of yesterday was, we're closed. The systems were built as bricks in a wall. This was designing to last. You couldn't take a brick out without collapsing the whole wall. And the reality is, we had to change it. SOA helped us change it. We're now in a world of open systems work, where services, custom processes and packages, templates, all are integrated into a network of business process, information, and collaboration. That's where we have to be to get the kind of agility we need. We can't work with applications that are hard to change. We have to work with pieces of applications, pieces of process that can be mixed and matched. This is not a new message. You've heard it before. I'm telling you to say it's still a critical part of your planning. You have to plan for a flexible and adaptable architecture in order to be able to reach the goals you seek. And you must search for patterns. Can anybody see the words in this? I actually showed this once to an audience of high school kids, and 2 of them could see the words in here. 2 of them could see the pattern. When you can see the pattern, you can predict the future. There is always warning if you know where to look. We're talking about events as the pattern surfacer, the way to emerge, to bring patterns out of systems. You have to think SOA for services, and you have to think events to surface patterns. And when you surface patterns, you find the most interesting things. Opportunities and threats. Those are the 2 words that are most important to any business in the world. Opportunity and threat. If you can discover those patterns, apply them in the right way through an SOA-based architecture, and up-level them into the business need, you'll be better than most. And as you look past the opportunities and threats, you find new phenomena. You've heard this word cloud, yes? Cloud is everywhere. Everybody's talking about cloud. It is going to cook your breakfast. It's going to take your kids to school. Wait a minute, we've heard that before. It's going to be harder than most people might imagine to get to cloud computing, but it is a reality you must face. If you're going to handle change, you have to get to the cloud. Your BPMS in the cloud, migrating licenses from your on-premises products to the cloud, all of these things you have to deal with. Is it risk or reward? It's both. Is it opportunity or threat? It's both. The opportunity is to do a new way of doing business. The risk is you can't trust the providers. They'll balance out eventually. And your BPM and your processes and your technologies will wind up in the cloud. The third and final political reality, the changes in your world are political in many ways. First, the balance of power is tipping from the IT to the business. If you're on the business side, rejoice. If you're on the IT side, rejoice. Because otherwise you will become irrelevant. You have to get the business more involved in the decisions, and you have to then be able to provide the solutions they require. If they don't care, you are a cost center forever. If you're a cost center forever, when the last 5 years has seen 2 to 4% IT budget increases, you cannot survive. The business must be part of your plan, and you a part of theirs. So when we look at this political reality, we recognize things that are happening. Shared effort, the business is rising. The idea of no sustainable expertise in the business, but the business is controlling the money. You can build sustainable expertise in IT. Third, 58% don't have a business process community center, but 42% do. So that's a good thing. On the IC side, major IT investments are limited. You have to get the money from the business. Outsourcing is bypassing IT. You have to make yourself a trusted partner, collaborating with the business. And IT has the wrong skills. We're not focused on process. We're not focused on process enough. If we begin focusing, We become a part of the business even more. And no process governance. You don't know which processes you have. You don't know how they work. You don't know who to call when they fail. If you went to a doctor and they said, Mr. Plummer, you have to have surgery. And you say, Doc, how do you know that? He said, I don't know, I kind of guessed. I'm sure I'm not going through with that surgery. I hope you wouldn't either. So BPM is transforming. There are forces in tension. There are success factors you must consider for your BPM initiative. It's not just transform, it's what you do and when you do it. What you do, select the right first project. Spend time to figure out the best value proposition to deliver. Build your business process competency center. This is the place that steers the ship, the bridge. This is the air traffic control tower. These are the people who help guide you through it to success. Invest in organizational readiness. Get your people ready. Train them to collaborate. Train them to think process first, not just to do their jobs. The right tools in the right hands, the right technologies. BPM suites and BPM technologies are there. It only takes you to leverage them. Clear alignment with your goals must be set. You must have objectives and goals that are matched. We often don't. We often focus on cost cutting instead of customer satisfaction, for instance. Goal is customer sat, but we focus on cost cutting. The right metrics for the right things. Agree on the goals with your business. Enthusiastic business support is necessary, and engage the business user. These are the steps you must take to get to an A+. There are always possibilities. We must make choices to fit the right possibilities. The choices we make will shape our outcomes. You can look for scientific process-based solutions where your business buyer is really IT, really supported by IT. The goal is re-engineering. Fine for how it goes. Fine for how it goes. Continuous process improvement, however, has business and IT as the buyer, and goal is business agility. Now we're talking. We're changing, we're transforming, we're growing, we're reacting and acting continuously. The redesign of a process-based SOA, another option that we can go with. IT and the business buyer, the goal is modernization. A lot of us have to modernize our systems, take advantage of it. And the business transformation item, senior business executives as buyers. Those are the ones who really control the money in the end. And the goal is to make a game-changing play. They say in football, I have played football. You throw the ball to where the receiver will be when the ball gets there. You don't throw it to where the receiver is when you release it. It's the only way to have a game-changing play. You have to anticipate. You have to plan for tomorrow. And you transform the entire game through a link up of the present release with the future catch. That's your task. That's what you must do. And if you can rise to that challenge, you'll be back here next year for another party, and the drinks will be waiting. Thank you very much, and enjoy.
Thank you, Darryl Plummer.